Hey guys, it's Erica and welcome back to my channel. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, make sure to hit that red subscribe button down below and click the bell so you'll be notified every time that I upload. So today I am back with 7 night shift or graveyard shift safety tips for you guys. So much is going on in this world, but I don't know about you, but I want to make it home safe to my son. So I'm telling you guys what I do to stay a little bit safer on the night shift. So tip number 1, have your stuff ready before you get out of your car. I don't know how many times or how many shows I've seen of someone in their car gathering their things when someone comes up behind them, puts the bag over their head, and they end up in someone's basement. We don't want that. So definitely have your items that you need in the car next to you while the car is locked. When you arrive at your job and the car is locked, go ahead, gather up all your things, your purse, your food, all those things, get them on your shoulder, then go ahead and proceed to open your door, get all those things out and go and lock your door and whatever else. Don't be like butt out in the air, your whole body in the car, reaching for things and digging for things, because it makes you a target and it makes it easy for someone to get you. So definitely avoid that. Have your stuff ready. Tip number 2. Do not text while you are walking into the building. Texting is the same thing, distracted driving, as distracted walking, okay? So when you're texting and you're looking at your phone, you're not paying attention to what's going on around you, who's sneaking up on you, anything like that. So make sure that you're not texting or on Instagram or searching the web and stuff while you're walking into work. Now, phone calls, I believe, are okay in my opinion, because I feel like when you're on the phone, you can say, okay, well, I'm walking into work now. Everybody hear me. You know what I mean? Like you could be like, someone's walking up behind me. Like you can say what you need to say, and sometimes it can even help people find you if something were to happen to you. Like you're kind of telling them like what's going on play by play till you get to where you're supposed to be at. So I feel like phone calls are pretty safe and they can be very helpful, but stay away from texting. So tip number 3 is about locks. Now this only applies to people who work in kind of an environment like mine. So in my situation, I work overnight by myself and the room that I'm in actually locks, and not many of us know the code except for the other techs that work with us and maybe 1 or 2 other people. Like no one really knows that code. It's not one that you can swipe in. You actually have to put a code in, and I'm able to kind of lock myself in at night and know that no one's gonna kind of come in there while I'm in there. So if you have the opportunity to lock your door and it's something that you can do at your job, go ahead and lock that door and make sure that you're in there, you're by yourself, and you just know people aren't walking in and out without your knowledge. Tip number 4, don't roam the hallways without your phone. So this is basically for lunchtime and times when you're not working, but you're kind of just roaming the hallway, whether it's to go to the vending machine or to go to the break room and just the lunchroom, different things like that. Make sure you have your phone with you. I do have a little iPhone that we carry around the hospital that gets like, when I have an emergency patient, it'll ring and things like that. But I carry my personal phone with me when I'm just roaming the hospital. Like when I'm doing patients, I carry the work phone, but when I'm roaming alone, I definitely carry my phone. And that's because you never know what's gonna happen. You could end up stuck in an elevator and you might need some help. You could end up in someone's trunk and you might need to call 911. You might need to call a parent. You might be missing something. Anything could happen. These are bad examples, but anything could happen. And you want to make sure you just have your personal phone, your personal numbers. You know how to work your phone. It's just, I just feel a lot safer. Even if I'm just going to go fill up my water bottle and like the ICU or the PICU or whatever, or the PACU, my bad. If I'm going to go fill up my water bottle, I always take my phone with me, because honestly, you just never know what's going to happen. And you want to make sure that you have your personal phone with you. Tip number 5. Try not to share your schedule with your patients and other staff members that aren't always there, because you never know what's going through someone's head. You never know how an exam is going to go, and you want to make sure that a patient doesn't know your entire schedule, and if things go bad, they come back during your work hours and try to get the revenge. Like you have no clue what's going on. There's so many stories in the news and so many things happen, so you just want to protect yourself and just try not to tell patients when you come in and when you leave and that you're here all alone. These are things that they don't need to know, and they don't need to have access to your whole schedule. Number 6, if you feel uncomfortable in any way, bring a family member or a staff member if you can. Now, mainly I feel uncomfortable a lot of times during testicular exams, especially if it's a guy who's my age or just like someone who just seems a little creepy sometimes. You know, you get that vibe when people are just a little bit kind of creepy, and I'm like, I don't know about this. And especially if the wife is with them or the girlfriend's with them, I'm like, come on girl, let's go. Like I always try to bring somebody with me for a testicular exam. Other exams that make me feel uncomfortable, really that's the only one, honestly, that makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable, or I might get a little bit of creepy vibes from people, is for testicular exams. And sometimes when someone just is really nervous about a first pregnancy or something like that, usually I can calm them down, but if I'm feeling like they might need somebody or a hand to hold or something, then I might let a family member come up there with them. But if you feel uncomfortable in any way, to me, it's just better to have someone else in the room. If you can't get a family member, if they came alone, then sometimes just like, come on, let this male staff member or nurse, whoever it is, come into the room with you and kind of just chaperone that and just make you feel a little bit more comfortable. Same for men. I know that usually for men, they have to have a female chaperone for a transvaginal exam, if that might make them uncomfortable. But it's so crazy to me that for men, they have to have a female chaperone, but for us, we could just be in there with the guys by ourselves. I hate it. So if you are feeling uncomfortable in any way, make sure to get a family member or a staff member. Tip number 7 is to leave the door open during exams, especially those testiculars and ones that make you feel uncomfortable. Now, when I say leave the door open, I don't mean for everyone to see what's going on, but if you work in a place like mine where I'm able to lock that door, I make sure that door is unlocked and open during the exam and that the curtain is pulled. Of course, I pull the curtain, but if any doors or things can be shut, or if there's any way to make you more secluded with that person, get rid of those barriers, make it as open as possible. You want to make sure you can yell, scream, run, kick, cry, whatever you need to do. So just make sure you have all of that available to you. So if you have a patient in there, testicular, whatever, make sure everything is open. So this last tip is just a bonus for those of us who are spiritual and like to pray. I always tell people to pray for their day. I always pray on my way to work that God's gonna watch over me and take care of me, let me get the right patients, give me what to say to these people, give them what to say to me, that I won't be hurt, harmed, or endangered, or anything will happen to me, that I'm just kept safe and at peace and no anxiety. I'm just able to enjoy my night. And these are just things that I love to pray for on the way to work. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. This, of course, is not in like all-inclusive type of list. There are definitely many other tips out there for staying safe on the overnight or graveyard night shift, whatever you want to call it. So if you guys have any more, make sure to list them down below to help each other out. I know there are also some apps out there that help you walk home safe. So I will put a link for those apps down below as well. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Like, rate, comment, and subscribe, guys. Bye.